Hey guys, Double Wide 6, and what we're looking at here is this thing's called the EZT. It's a transmission, I believe, from the left side of a tractor. It's actually off of a Troy-Bilt, one of those Troy-Bilts that looks just like a Cub Cadet but red. And my friend bought this, not from me, and he brought it home. It was pretty cheap. I think he paid $8.50 for it, for a 50-inch tractor. It was, supposedly worked fine. He brought it home, and the first thing that happened was this bypass rod in here popped out. He lost this on his yard, and oil was leaking out of this thing. And just looking at it, I can tell someone's been in here because there's some red RTV there that it shouldn't even be here on this tab. And the original RTV sealant was black on these. You'll also notice that the fan here, it's missing all the blades, most of them. So we're going to need a fan there. I noticed this nut here is already stripped. And one other thing that can prove someone was in here is they broke a bolt. Let me back you out here. They broke a bolt. This bolt's different than all the other ones. And I've broken bolts putting these back on, so you do have to be careful when you're torquing them. So what I'm going to do for my buddy is open this thing up and see what shape it's in. He said it was running alright, but then it stopped running, so he took it out of the tractor and dropped it off. So we're going to pop it open, take a look inside. I'm worried, you know, without a fan that it was overheating, and then also the fact that someone else was in there. And I can tell, you know, it's missing that retaining clip there where the bypass release lever is going through. So let's crack this thing open and take a look. So there's an oil plug up top, 1/4 inch. So we're going to start there, loosen that up. And I'm just going to flip it over. We'll see how much oil is actually in this unit. Well, looking at the oil, I can tell the oil's brand new. So we'll let this drain out. I'll show you the oil. I can tell it's like look pretty clear so far. This is a look at the oil. It really doesn't look that old. I'm not really seeing any metal particles in here, although this bin wasn't perfectly clean. Mostly had like leaves and debris in it a little bit, but yeah, the oil actually looks pretty good, and like I said, it looks like someone had topped off the oil or added oil recently. Little snap ring here and the gear. And I think we'll remove this brake. Looks like a 7/16. So there's a little spring on here. And gosh, that felt very loose. I keep getting, I'm very concerned about what's going on inside here. It does look like someone was in here, but then again, these seals they weren't replaced either. So it really makes me wonder what happened to this thing. These bolts feel pretty tight. That one's busted. I didn't bust it, it was busted. Yeah, they shouldn't be that tight. I think they're supposed to be about like 80 foot-pounds. Might be like 40 or 50 foot-pounds. I'm trying to remember. I got the specs somewhere. But they definitely feel really tight because this thing's cracking pretty hard. Alright, and then there's this one up here that's a different size. Looks like 8mm or 5/16. This washer was on the brake. Alright, so now we're ready to crack this thing open and see what's going on. So they give you a spot or two on here where you can pry. There's one right here. And you could tell kind of by the sound that that was starting to loosen up. And there's one on this side. There we go. Well, first glance, doesn't look too bad. So here's what we see looking in here, and I don't have the parts diagram from Hydro Gear out. I have it over there in that tool cabinet. I usually pull that out when I put it back together to make sure I'm doing it right, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a washer right on top of this gear, and that's not there. And I noticed, yeah, there is a washer under here. I'm pretty sure that's actually supposed to be there, but I'm going to check that stuff on the plans. But I'm pretty sure we're missing one there. This fan, I probably have a fan for my buddy, so I usually keep them. I have a few. I just need to make sure it's like for a left side transmission because I think they're different. So I'm going to take a paint marker and mark which side's up. We're going to pop this gear off, and then we're going to remove this center section and we're going to inspect it. And I also want to make sure that the guy has the bypass pin in there. So we're going to remove the pump and the motor out of this section, and we'll go through and inspect it. And by the way, on my channel, I have a lot of transmission videos on this very transmission. So I could show you the whole rebuild process if you search there or subscribe. So I got it marked here as an arrow pointing up. And this is 3/4. Oh, man, is that one on there tight. Alright. so we'll keep this together. And then we got to pull out a snap ring, and we should be able to remove this shaft. This should come right out here. There is a washer on the bottom here. I think that's right, but I still feel like we're missing one. So hopefully we can leave that alone. Next thing to do is pull this shaft out and get out that snap ring. I'm going to try and go for the snap ring. There we go. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we should be able to pull this out. So I put this nut on here, and I'm using this slide hammer ratchet thing I built. And we'll see if we can pop the seal and the shaft out of here. Well, that's what it's like when you got the right tool for the job. There we go. Well, these spines look good. Everything looks good there. There's a spring and then a washer on top of it. I think that's right. So that actually goes, I'll put that on that shaft. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna loosen this up so that we can pull this out of here. And you know, odds are everything's probably in decent shape, but you know, we want to make sure that's sort of why we're taking it apart and inspecting it. Alright, so I'm going to have to remove this plate, and I'm looking at it. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is all bent. All this metal through here. And these fasteners, there's a torque screw, it's kind of stripped out here. This one even looks bent. There's a washer on the outside of this. I don't know, he's definitely missing something here, like a washer or something, and everything's bent and sort of cockeyed. But, well, I'm going to go ahead and pull it apart. And when we put it back together later, we'll try and straighten it out. Alright, we'll keep all that together. Yeah, this definitely, look, this isn't even tight. What a hack job. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we should be able to turn this and start working on removing the motor and the pump. There we go. So we'll pull this out. Oh, this thing's done. I'll show you that. Center section looks alright. Alright, so now we're on to these bolts. And this is the bypass pin that was loose. And he's missing some sort of snap ring up there. Alright, let me figure out what size nut that is. So there's 3 bolts here. Oh, yeah, this is done. Yeah, I think he's probably going to have to buy a new transmission. This here, it's all gouged out. There's definitely some metal. This is really deep here. This can't be honed out, so you'd need at least a new center section. The bypass pin is in here. This side is pretty much torn out. Here's the filter. Jeez, a lot of oil in this thing yet. You could see all the metal particles on the magnet. Yeah, I think what we want to do here is just get a new transmission. Because till he pays me for all the labor to rebuild this one. Yeah, this one's scratched up too. It's not terrible. I don't know. Till you go through and you get all the parts. He's got almost $300 in parts in this to get it rebuilt. So he's probably better off just getting a new transmission for this side. So yeah, that's kind of the deal with this one. And you can see on this motor here, there's pretty deep scoring between these holes, and then what happens is the oil leaks between them, and you know, the hydro doesn't work. And if you look in here, I can see there's something broken inside there. Oh man, this thing's a hot mess. See that washer on there? I don't even know what that is. That shouldn't be there though. There's supposed to be a washer like on this one here. So he tried to shim it with his own washer. Yeah, I'm really not liking what's going on here. So I'm gonna have to talk to my buddy. Alright guys, so thanks for following along with this one. I'm gonna actually recommend to my buddy that he gets a new transmission. This transmission just, you know, like most of the parts here need to be replaced. It's not really fixable. It's not worth it. And you know, I've gone through and I've honed down parts and fixed these up for virtually no money except for the cost of some honing blocks and sandpaper. And I'll link a video underneath on how to repair these transmissions. But, you know, this one's just too far gone. And someone else has already been in here fiddling around, so, you know, I just kind of have my doubts about this one. So anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry we don't have a full repair here, but we're going to leave it right here. And can't win them all. So take care, and thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think down below.